Ready with me while I tell you some random facts about myself. I'm 25 years old. I was born in the UAE, but I've lived in Canada majority of my life, specifically southwestern Ontario, and I just moved to Vancouver. Also, ever since I moved, I have not stopped breaking out. I've always wanted to live on the West Coast, so this has honestly been like a dream come true. I got married when I was 22. I never specifically cared to get married that young. We met in university. He's a year older. Got married right after I graduated. Girls, please get your degrees before you get married. I feel like you grow so much in that phase of life. Just having your own career when you're growing and learning is just so important. I studied software engineering and I still do work full-time as a software engineer. It's a little too warm. I'm gonna add this on top. I originally wanted to go into medicine, but I took a programming class in first year and just fell in love with it. I also knew that medicine was just going to be a really long path, and I just don't know if it was going to align with the life that I wanted, but software engineering does, and I'm just so grateful for that decision. That being said, when I did want to go into medicine, I used to go to a bunch of medical conferences in high school, and so did my husband. And after we got married, we found an old picture of us sitting behind each other, and obviously we didn't know each other at this point. I don't know, the world is just kind of crazy sometimes. I had a lot of hobbies growing up. Sewed, I crocheted, I took art classes, I played tennis, gymnastics, basketball. In high school, I was on the volleyball team. I don't understand how, because I swear I was 4'9" in high school. I feel everyone online thinks I'm really tall. I'm actually 5'4". I swear I was 4'10" till grade 11. And then I had a random growth spurt. I was always the smallest in class. I did kind of get bullied for it. People would make jokes. It never really bothered me. I've always been a pretty confident person. I've always been the type of person that really believed in myself. I didn't really have bad imposter syndrome. Whatever I was doing, I kind of knew I was good at it. And social media is actually the one place where I am the least confident. I have so much imposter syndrome. I constantly feel I don't belong. I always think oh, I tricked everyone into following me, which obviously isn't the case. But just my whole life, I've been so focused on academics that doing something in the creative field other than just art for yourself, I just feel like a fraud. And just constantly thinking that I'm not good enough, comparing myself, etc., which I really need to stop doing that because it is not good for me. I feel it's been really bad the past couple months, but I'm working on it. I know I shouldn't base my worth based on how many likes or comments something got, but TikTok is so random with its views. And whenever views are low, I don't know, I just get really sad. It feels I worked so hard on something and then no one saw it. If you ever see my content and are interested in seeing more of it, I would really appreciate you liking and commenting and watching to the end, because then maybe TikTok will actually show my followers my videos. I've wanted to do social media since I was 12 years old. I'm an only child and my parents were just really protective and wouldn't let me post anything. Once I got older, I think it was 2021, I started posting on TikTok. I started because I was looking for casual, modest fashion inspo, and I could only find wedding guest dresses, really fancy outfits. This one's something I'd be comfortable wearing to university in my classes, and that inspiration literally did not exist. I've always wanted to be a fashion designer. I've been sewing since I was 9 years old. My ultimate dream is definitely to have my own clothing line. I would love to run my own brand. I just have so many ideas, but with working a 9-to-5 job, I obviously don't have time to do that. I hope I get to do that one day, but we'll see. I feel everyone that likes fashion loves New York, but I'm not the biggest New York fan. I've been 3 times, once with my family, once for a brand trip, and once with my husband. Every time, I just it's not my thing. I do think that living there is probably more fun than visiting, just because there's constantly stuff to do. I'm personally a West Coast girl. I love the nature. I love beaches. I think that's why it's not really my favorite. Those are some facts about me, and that was makeup.